This is The Three Little Pigs, a dice rolling game by ELO. It's part of the Tales and Games series, each one containing a short game and the fairy tale it's based upon. And they all look like books. In this video, I'll show you how to play it, what we like and don't like about it, and if you're a grown-up, the skills children can learn while playing it. Don't worry, I promise it's not one of those fake educational games. And later on, I'll attempt to prove that The Three Little Pigs is actually a horrible story, through the medium of a silly song. I feel like you've probably heard, or read, The Three Little Pigs 56 squillion times by this point, but here's a summary. 3 pigs build 3 houses made of straw, wood, and bricks, respectively. A wolf comes along wanting to eat the pigs, and at each house the conversation goes something like this.
Little pigs, let me come in. Not by the hair on your chinny chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
The wolf blows down the straw and wood houses, but can't blow down the brick one. There are different versions of this tale. Sometimes the wolf eats the first 2 pigs, and sometimes they run away to the next house. In some of them, the wolf tries to get the last pig to meet him outside, but the pig tricks him. Sometimes he goes down the chimney and gets his bottom burnt, and sometimes he's boiled alive and eaten by the final pig. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. Anyway, here's how you play the game. On your turn, roll the dice. You can keep what you've rolled or re-roll up to 2 times. If you get matching icons, doors, windows or roofs, you can build them. 2 for straw, 3 for wood or 4 for brick. Brick is harder to get, but better, just like in the story. Houses can be any size and can mix materials, but only score points if they are complete with a roof. If you roll 2 wolves, you cannot build anything, and instead have to blow down another player's house. Spin the spinner. The rulebook recommends blowing it, which is fun. And any house parts matching that material are destroyed. Which is great, unless it's your house. #learning to lose, #resilience. At the end, you score points for complete houses, plus flower pots and a few other bonuses. Most points wins. Here's what we like. This is a good push-your-luck game that is quick to teach and quick to play. Do you play it safe and build with straw and wood, or risk re-rolling for the chance to build in brick? And do you blow down someone else's house, or go easy on them and hope they return the favour? This leads to some interesting decisions and develops reasoning skills and empathy. I also think it's a very strong thematic game. It takes the main idea of the 3 little pigs and turns it into the core of the game. In the story, a brick house is harder to build, but better in the long run. Be patient, put the effort in, and you'll be safer later. And that's exactly what you're doing here. Building quick houses made of straw, or holding out for the brick. Understanding how story elements are used in a game is an example of higher order thinking skills. See the description. Compare this to so-called themed versions of Monopoly, which basically just change the artwork. Just imagine 3 Little Pigs Monopoly. You know it would be awful with things like Straw Street, Straw House, and Road where the dude with the straw walks. Oof. I also love the production quality of this game. The artwork is lovely, the dice are chunky and nice to roll, and everything fits back into the book box perfectly. Joy of joys. Here's what we don't like. It's pretty hard to build anything out of brick. I won't show you all the maths, but essentially you've got about 2 chances in 5 of rolling a brick wall or door. Not too bad, right? But there aren't as many roofs on the dice. The chances of rolling a brick roof is only 1 in 6. That also doesn't sound too bad, but most games only last 7 or 8 turns. So you usually only see 1 brick roof, if at all. So why would you ever try to get one? even if it is a push your luck game. The second thing, and this really isn't a big problem, is that the story tells us that a good, sturdy house is the safest, right? But in this game, a house made of mixed materials is actually best because the wolf blows down materials, not buildings. Look, if the wolf spins or blows wood, this house would just lose a floor, but this one would be totally destroyed. This is really weird, but it's right there on the box. Look. Overall, we think this is an excellent game. It's great to bring out and introduce to new people. Everybody knows the story and makes the connection really quickly. It's got a good balance of luck and strategy, and the theme works really well. I'm going to give it 4 out of 4 burnt wolf bottoms. Speaking of new people, only 1 in 10 of you are subscribed. 1 in 10? You're more likely to be a brick roof or something. Anyway, huff and puff on that subscribe butty butt button and we'll take a look at the story. The reason why you've heard or read this story 56 squillion times is that it's a folk tale, which means it was passed from person to person orally for maybe hundreds of years before anyone wrote it down. In fact, the version we all know was first published in 1890 and is very similar to this one. Because it's a folk tale, it has some key features that you may look at in your English lessons in years 3 and 4 in England and Wales. There's repetition, which is using the same words or actions again and again. You've got 3 pigs, 3 houses, and the same conversation happening. It makes the story easy to understand and quite fun to join in with as well. And it follows something called the rule of 3. The first time something happens, you notice it. The second time, you start to expect it. And the third time, something changes. That's why the first 2 houses get blown down, but the third one doesn't. You get a setup, then a pattern, then a twist. This pattern usually leads us to a moral, which is a message or teaching that helps us to become better people. In the 3 Little Pigs, we learn that hard work, planning and patience leads to success and safety. The Hare and the Tortoise teaches us that effort and persistence is better than speed and talent. Little Red Riding Hood warns us not to trust strangers. I'll be looking at all of these games in future videos. The 3 Little Pigs has a few other messages though, doesn't it? Like, don't help your siblings. Think about it, the pigs don't help each other at all. They could have made a plan, built 3 brick houses and been safe. Or don't take risks, which by the way teachers don't believe at all. You should definitely try and fail and get better. And finally, the story tells us that it's okay to boil your enemies alive and eat them. That's really not okay.
It's good to have resilience. That means to keep going when things are tough. And it's good to plan ahead, like building your house from stronger stuff. And it's good to work with siblings when being alone just isn't enough. But don't boil your enemies alive and eat them. It's good to trust your instincts and to name yourself after things you wear. But if grandma now has big teeth and eyes, don't stand around and comment, get out of there. And if you must walk in the woods, and if you're tidy leading a house made out of sweets, don't push old ladies into their ovens. That's not kind. It's good to take some risks and climb when there are opportunities. But don't break on into a giant's house and don't rob him of his gold or of his geese. And while it's good to choose carefully, don't sleep in beds that don't belong to you. And generally stay away from bears, homes inferred.